Hi, my friends. This is Lada from astrolada.com. And today I'm here with Angelique, which is our relationship expert. She's the best basically to do readings for relationships. She psychically can check, energetically, and only she's also a certified counselor for relationships.
Coach, yeah, life coach as well, healer.
Yes, and because it's coming up to the 14th of February, we decided to make a manifesting ceremony. Basically, Angelique will do it for anyone who wants to attract the right relationships. It's happening on a growing moon because the manifestation ceremonies have to be on a growing moon when we want to attract something and to keep it and to make it grow in our life. And it's happening on Saturday, on the 9th of February. You can watch it live or you can watch it after that, the recording. And basically, this is the best time of the year, energetically, astrologically, to manifest for relationships. So, Angelique, can you tell us a little bit about manifestation and love?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited to do this. I know energetically, a lot of people did a lot of release work last year and still transitioning this year as well. When it comes to manifesting anything in general, everyone focuses a lot on the law of attraction. Everyone knows that, but not a lot of people focus on the law of receptivity, which is just as equally important when manifesting anything, especially a love connection, because this is a very emotional connection and you want to be in a vibrational alignment. Everyone knows you attract what you are. And I really wanted to do this workshop. It's going to be interactive. So I'm going to be taking questions. We're going to be doing certain exercises before we actually get into the tools to bring this person in. And and I've had a couple of people ask me questions like, what if I'm kind of ready, but not ready? This webinar is good for anybody, whatever stage, whether you're like, I want someone in there now, or I just want to open up to the possibility of love. This webinar is for you. It's just helping you to align energetically. A lot of people try to manifest, a love partner, but energetically they're not in alignment. So you can say consciously, I want a husband, or I want a wife, I want a good person in my life. But if energetically you're like, all men suck, or all women are liars, your belief, your subconscious pattern, your energy is going to contradict the manifestation. You can light all the candles and do all the affirmations you want. It will block it every single time because that's your dominant energy. Just like affirmations. If you have a very negative mindset, but only donate 5 minutes a day to positive ones, it's going to be outweighed. So I'm going to teach you some energetic tricks, some grounding. I'm going to help you clear out anything that's blocked up for you. We're going to get clear on what it is you want to manifest, and then we're going to jump into the actual work. So it is interactive. There are some tools you're going to have to bring, nothing crazy. And I'm going to help you get there because that's most important in this. Receptivity is allowing something in. But if you can't, if someone says, you look great today, and you're like, no, I look like crap, or your food is wonderful, no, it's too salty. If you can't accept a compliment, energetically, try accepting a human being into your space is going to be very difficult. So teaching you how to open up to receive what you're manifesting really is part of this webinar.
That's very kind of enhancing your feminine energy, basically.
Yes.
The feminine energy is receptive. And we have, especially in the Western world, a lot of women that are very masculinely aligned. Because nowadays, and it's fantastic that we can be the bread earners, but when women have to go, that's very masculine energy, and that and a lot of us already are born with a lot of masculine signs. Like I am all masculine signs, and have very little feminine energy in the horoscope. So I'm naturally go and plan and be ambitious. But that's the furthest energy from the female energy, which is to be relaxed, to be chill, to be receptive, exactly like you say. To be
vulnerable too.
Yes, and it's very hard for me. I need to open as well because especially when you run a business and you all this feminine energy goes away from you. Even if you have a relationship, it starts suffering. It starts suffering. Your man does not feel as attracted to you, or you don't feel as willing because you're not feminine energy. And I see it daily, and I need to align there as well. But what you were saying was very interesting as well, that you might, say, oh, I want a relationship, but energetically and you're not there. Because in astrology, when people come to me, I check their horoscope for the next 2 years. When will there be opening? And even someone wrote to me yesterday, oh, Jupiter just last year went over my 7th house and my moon is there and I didn't meet anyone. And even astrology can tell you when there will be openings for you to attract someone.
Mm-hmm.
you to for something to happen. Well, she met someone, but nothing happened. But if you're not aligned energetically, if you don't do your work, your homework before that,
Yes.
even 20 Jupiter transits there, yes, someone will appear, but you can't keep that person, or you can't. You can't just manifest it fully. The astrology shows when openings, when things align for you to the possibility to happen. Because sometimes you can't even meet anyone, but if you need to do the inner work, and that's why it's
Absolutely.
stated. But what you do with it, you can meet someone, but the free will is 25%, and that's the work you do on yourself and aligning energetically to good things in your life.
You're absolutely right. And that's why I wanted to do it energetically. And I love what you said too about the feminine and masculine. That's why I wanted to do an interactive, because a lot of women, we are over masculinated. Nothing wrong. That's, what, culturally, being business, being independent, that comes with it. And I don't want to alienate any men out there that want to take this webinar. It's for both. This is just an easy example to make. You're correct. So if you're trying to, attract a masculine energy, if you're too over masculated, you will tend to attract partners who are pushovers, that don't actually fill the needs that you want. Men need to feel needed, or masculine energy needs to feel needed, or proactive, or like they have to be like, there's a purpose for them. So if you're taking it all away, like, don't do that, I can do that, I'll pay for this, they don't feel useful. They don't feel masculine, right? So you push that out. And I love how you mentioned the opportunity. Even when you go to a healer or a therapist or an astrologer, we can't solve everything. You have to do things in conjunction with the work. So when we have over masculinated energy, you have to really be proactive in the manifesting process. Like, some people, love just enters their life, and I wish that could be for all of us, but that's not always the case. If we're finding any difficulty attracting a mate or keeping someone who's more committed, we have to be a little more proactive in the co-creation process and be a little bit more clear. And you're right. So you can have this Jupiter transit over the 7th house, but if you're in your house all the time and never get out, the universe gave you the energy and the tools, but you didn't work with it. So that's why I wanted to give you the tools so you can actually work with it and be a little bit more in control of that. A lot of my clients, they feel at the will of the universe, like, well, this is not happening, and Saturn's here, or I have a debilitated something there. It's like, but you can work with it. You can try to remove things or use the energy to the best of your ability. And I kind of want to put the control or the power back in their hands. You
yes, otherwise it's you're giving all your power away. That's why I don't want someone to rely fully on astrology. I want them to see what the climate will be like. Yes, it will be hard for relationships, but can you still keep a relationship? Yes, if you're a good human being that is conscious of your weaknesses and is trying to, work and be compromising with a partner, yes, you can have 3 years of difficulties. It doesn't mean you'll be lonely and alone. You can just have you're working hard over something in regards to relationships. But so many marriages, there always every 4 or 5 years some big problems in relationships. Astrologically, some people are married for 70 years, So
exactly. And so people hear it, they're like, oh my God, problems. I'm like, well, that's how you grow. That's how you have that. And I do believe in soul contracts. And we have multiple soulmates. Some people are stuck on the one. Nothing wrong with that. And it's very romantic. Thank God it's not true, because if something happened to that person, you'd be screwed. But there's lots of people you can match with, and it's really getting people into vibrational alignment. You guys have to, it's not just, manifest or say your affirmation or have a vision. You have to actually act in accordance with that. It's a lot more raising the vibration up. And a lot of things people don't realize too is your personal space. If anybody's trying to manifest love into their life or romance into your life, you really got to look at your personal space. As within, so without. So I tell women too, like, or men, if you have a bed and like the other side's cluttered, clear it off, move it out. If you have, an excess stuff in your house, or, you're holding on to treat, those things hold energy. The universe is a vacuum. When one thing moves out, something moves in. So I tell people, pack it up, give it away, throw it away, donate it, or at least get it out of your personal space, because energetically it blocks you as well. Or like their cars are dirty or they're cluttered. You're not going to have any space to let anything in. Cleaning your space is extremely important. I know I'm not trying to be a clean freak. It's just energetically to open up space. There's a lot of different tricks and a lot of different things people don't recognize, but it just helps energy move a lot easier and allow someone to come in.
You've obviously worked with a lot of people as a coach, to someone that had a lot of insecurities or fears about a relationship, someone who's been hurt, say, and they're afraid to let the new person, or someone who's always attracted abusive partners, or someone who always attracts someone that cheats on them. There is different, or someone who always attracts partners that they lose interest in the partner after that. They start and they lose. When you've worked with someone actively on manifesting and mind they call it mind design or consciousness design, don't it? Consciousness architecture that you do, that you restructure your mind and vibration. How quickly can you see changes? Will one webinar of 2-3 hours help? I mean, like, how quickly and what is the fastest manifestation that you've seen with someone? So someone that was really blocked to go the other way.
Absolutely. And I have to do the disclaimer, guys, it depends on the person. Because some people are like, I want to change it, but then they do nothing. I mean, you can't work with someone who's not actively trying. That's why I'm implementing candle work. I love candle work. It's some of the fastest moving energy. It's like a direct straight line to what you want. I've seen both. I've seen things move extremely fast for lots of people, but their will was aligned. They were willing. They might have been crying and they might have been afraid, but they stayed open. And energetically, you can't really predict that. Everyone's so different. For the most part, with candle work, I've seen it happen within a month. And that's extremely fast for candle work. And then for some people, they've had to do it several times because their belief system is so strong. So anybody who's been through trauma, if you've been through a very traumatic divorce, if you've gone through a lot of childhood problems, image issues, body image issues, self-worth issues, that borderline needing therapy, and there's nothing wrong with therapy. Life coaching could only take you so far. That might take a little bit more work. And you have to do that with, like, I do NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. It helps restructure the pattern thoughts in the head. I've seen that work very, very fast, as long as a person is not resistant. Some people are very self-identified with victimhood or victim archetypes, not judging it. But if you want to maintain that identity, you're going to maintain that identity. But for the most part, fast, I've seen it within a month.
Because I've noticed, I listen to all kind of inspirational and NLP practitioners, and one of the best actually when you talk. There's really famous people you you should be there, but they're saying now in all new psychology, they're saying that they don't anymore believe in this, like, 10 years talking it out with a psychologist.
Oh yeah, no, I don't believe in that either.
It's like, it's so old. Why do you have to bring these pains? And they believe that now. Actually, they say that a lot of teachers are saying that dispensation is happening from above, as inspiration. Tactics and methods are being given to people like you who align to that for much faster healing, for much faster transformation. And of course, as we know, everything is sped up. Before 200 years ago, one lifetime, you got married once and worked one job all your life. Now, in one lifetime, you can experience 10. And what's that called? The karma. You hurt someone, it comes to you the next day before it can come to you next lifetime. Now it's everything like we get married 10 times, we change 10 careers, we live in 10 continents in one lifetime. Everything is sped up so much. And so is manifestation. And so are the methods of healing and going from one state to another and changing vibrationally. And I do love this revolution where it can happen overnight for some people. It can happen over a month for some people,
Absolutely. And I don't believe in, no offense to anybody's school of thought, I don't believe in rehashing things for 10 years. I actually think that keeps you more rooted and stuck because you're exploring the vibration. Everything is vibration and frequency, and you can choose. And it's not belittling a past. It's not minimizing it. It's releasing it. There's no need. There has to be a level of acceptance. That resistance has to be gone, but then it can be just released out. And I agree with you. I mean, karma has been right behind me my whole life. Like I'm not sure if it's what I do, but it's absolutely true. People are manifesting quicker. And I always tell people, watch your thoughts. It's so fast from your lips in the moment. And I agree with you, but no, there's a lot of reprogramming, a lot of restructuring we could do and release work that's so much faster. And some people aren't ready to let go, but that's a personal choice. Some people use it as a protection or as an identity, and that's when it gets a little bit more complicated, and that's their free will. But other than that, no, it can manifest very, very quickly. I'm also going to be doing in the webinar, if anybody, I do believe we exist in multiple or parallel dimensions. And you can actually, so everything you desire, everything you wish for, it already exists. You just have to pull that energy towards you. So we're going to be actually doing some dimension work in this webinar as well to pull what we want towards us. I love doing it, and it helps people recognize that you just have to live in that energy, and boom, it happens extremely fast. As long as you're open to it and you're ready, and you have to be very clear on what you want.
It's like almost like you create your own world and you imagine you're there already, and it's manifesting.
It's almost like a loose, it's going to be kind of like a lucid meditation. So we're not sleeping. So I'm not putting anybody into a trance in any way. You have free will, but it is accessing that aspect and pulling it physically towards us. So
wonderful. So you're doing some releasing first for the blockages. Yeah. Okay. That's
releasing, grounding, cleansing, clearing the space. That's important too. I can never stress. I tell women, rebounds are very common, but I tell them, if you can refrain, don't do it, because you attract what you are. So if you are scared and insecure and angry and you do this work, that is what you will attract. That's why it's before the webinar, get clear, take a shower, cleanse, ground. If you pray, pray. If you meditate, meditate, but get balanced here, because you want to be as clear about what you desire and what you need and who you are. But I tell some people, if you're not ready for the person, this is still great work to prepare yourself for the person. That's what you want. But energy, it's extremely important. So some people do use some of these tools and tricks, and I'm like, be very careful, because you'll get what you ask for, and it might not be what you need. So it's really
yes, you can open Pandora's box. And I wanted to ask you something. There was someone that, at least recently, a manifesting teacher that I've been working with, and she was telling me a story how she always wanted to attract a rich guy. And once she divorced, she said, no, I don't want to work anymore. So I'm going to attract someone very rich, very wealthy, so I don't have to work. And she attracts the person within a few months. He buys her houses and cars and everything. When you're used to manifestation process, you can do it very fast. But it tells her no more of your seminars, no more of your world travel, because she travels world and organizes, and she goes bonkers. She stays at home, locked in this castle and this estate, and she says, I was the most unhappy person ever. So she said, the issue is that oftentimes we think we know what we want, and we start trying to manifest it, and we do, and it makes us very unhappy. So how do we know what is right for us?
It's hilarious. And people say, like, do you have a perfect life? Is that why you do this? I'm like, honestly, I've done this so many times, trial and error, that I've aced it. But it's true. What we want isn't always what we need. So this is going to be an exercise we're actually going to do. We're going to take a lot of time in the webinar to do it, to get very clear on the differences. And honestly, when you do this work, some people just do it like alone, but the clarity aspect should probably be done with someone, a trusted mentor or friend, because we're too close to it. But I always tell people, think about something that you value. Look at your values, not what you want, that glitter, that castle looks great, but what's your values? Is your values family? Is your values career? Is it health? Look at your values, and from there, make your list, because those are non-negotiables. I call them non-negotiables. There's other areas completely negotiable. Some people are like, well, I want to be the alpha in the relationship. I'm like, if you had a perfect person, and just because you always want to be right, is that really, you have to question yourself. Question yourself. What do you need? You want someone to have your back and be there for you. Say those things. And you don't have to be too specific, but stick with the value set. Don't go too far off the value set, because once you do, you start getting nitpicky and getting anxiety. So people just, we're going to list some values and we're going to explore from there, but stick with the values. That's how you know what your needs are. And it's okay when you manifest somebody and you're like, I thought this is what I needed, but now I recognize, you learn about yourself. Relationships, you learn about yourself. It's okay. Multiple soulmates, like I said. Let's try this again.
But once you get the hang of manifestation, you say, oh my God, I'm a co-creator. Life is not this scary thing. Life is about playing and trying and creating. It's like children playing in the sun. Well, if the first castle doesn't work, they don't go like, that's it. Like, oh, I need one castle, I can make a different one. So you start, life becomes fun. You start experimenting next. And I remember that before I attracted my husband, which happened so suddenly, I started, like, before that I've been visualizing, because I love doing that. I just love to imagine stuff. I can see flowers, and I was daydreaming about the wrong things, and I kept manifesting, and I was like, why am I not happy in that? And then, like you said, I started thinking about values and looking at my life and then saying, actually, and my current husband, then he could not go anywhere because he was so stuck to his career. And I wanted someone next to me so we could travel the world together, we can work together. And he could never even get excited about my work. And I started thinking that wouldn't it be fantastic if someone had my back, like you said, because my career is my priority. And if someone could, actually get excited about what I do, and it's almost like follow me around, but to have the freedom not to be stuck to some 9 to 5 job, to have the freedom to be together on this journey. And this is what happened. This is what I manifested. So yes, and I always thought I wanted someone that is like a 7-figure earner before that, and I was not happy. I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right. I'm here and it's not right. And
yes, what did you just worked on visualizations? I just want to see what you share with other people. Did you do visualizations or prayer work? Or
I just daydream. I daydream and I would pray and I would imagine how it would feel to be there. And I almost everything that I've dreamt of, and this is every business project that I have as well. I just start by daydreaming and imagining details and how it's going to be and how it feels. And I'm there with my head. I'm there, and it happens.
It's the emotions that do it. Some people are like, I don't want to do visualization work. I'm like, sometimes it's not about the vision. It's great for clarity, but it's how the emotions that it evokes. That's what manifests, and then you just act in alignment.
Yes.
The emotion is necessary. You can't just like, I want to be here. But if you're feeling like, I don't believe this, then yeah, I ain't gonna work.
That's why I call it daydreaming for me, because I really want and it feels great. And I would, for example, if I have a long walk to do somewhere, I have to go to the shop. I can't drive. So for me, it's always 40 minutes walk to the shop. And I'm there with the stroller, with the baby, or I'm walking, whatever. And in my head, I'm in this other world and I'm imagining how it feels, and I don't notice how the time passes. So it's beautiful. I can't wait. But if you tell me, now we'll do some visualization work, I'll think like, this is work. So I'm like,
I daydream when I run. Like my mind just goes, I could run forever because my mind just goes off. And and some people aren't used to it too. Some people are like, I'm not visual. I'm like, it's okay. Well, there's other things you can do, but it's just one of the many tools that you can absolutely access. But it's just, you got to try a couple different things to see what works for you. So visualization, see guys, you just visualized, and it's amazing, but it's the emotion that you invoke too. How long till you visualized and you met your husband? I'm just curious.
I wasn't visualizing. I was just daydreaming that that visualization, yes. It started a few months before that. And I started like, actually, now that I've arrived here, what I wanted, and I didn't want, like, I wasn't imagining I want to meet someone else. I was like, I just want my relationship life to align, and I was just imagining how wonderful it would be to do this, and it's happening now. So.
Yeah. Did you visualize? And I'm just curious because some people get really nervous with this work. Like, what if I make a mistake? What if I don't do this? For instance,
for me it was a play. For me it was a game. It was daydreaming. But I've always daydreamed, but a lot of times I would daydream about things. I would do it in practical ways. I would just. But it develops the imagination, the ability to focus on something for a long time in your head. I would daydream how I, revenge someone.
I think we all do that.
It's like, oh yeah, someone told you something in high school, and I daydream how I drive with a nice car in front of them. Stupid things, and I'm like, I really enjoy doing that. Why don't I use it in a useful way? And I started doing it about my work. I started doing it about relationships, and it's wow. There's so much power in this.
Yes. And I always tell people there is a disclaimer with this work, and I always tell people when you do this kind of, you say you want, let's say you're in a relationship and you're not very, very happy, and some people, they come here to do this work, and I like I'm so happy you shared this story, because some people will do this work and then all of a sudden, nobody gets scared, but they'll break up and they'll be like, what the hell? Like, I was trying to manifest love. I'm like, you wanted a partner that is in alignment with this partner, that this work will get you, it's like a straight line, as fast as it can. So if who you're with is not in alignment with what you're desiring, the universe answers and it releases what's not vibrationally in alignment. So you're thinking it's going backwards, but it's actually clearing space to move forward.
Yeah, so that's what happened in my case.
That happens. And they get some people like, they freak out. I'm like, and heartbreaks, it's like death. It sucks. But if you could stay in that alignment and keep going, just stay open to it, it'll bring somebody else in. That happens with some people. Sometimes they have an idea that's going to be with the person that they're with, if you're with somebody, and it can. But then we're going to work with wording and stuff to an intention, so you don't freak out. But I've seen that happen as well. So.
Well, I think I did a lot of wrong things as well, because I was trying to visualize a specific person that I had in my mind. And I was blocking myself from welcoming the right person. So for 9 years, I was in this self-perpetuating, imagining the wrong person. but this is like trying to influence someone else's willpower. And that's not good. I think I kept this person in a black magic situation almost with my constant visualization. And I got them stuck as well. Their life got stuck because I kept, and I think maybe that's wrong, especially when you see it's not happening with someone. I don't think it's good to focus on one person. And it's good to actually focus on how you want the situation to be. But I would always put a face on it. But it might be very good if you're in a relationship, you want to keep it, rather than take someone else's partner, Yeah,
don't do that, guys. That's bad juju. All things balance. And two, some people get nervous. And I would say when you're doing it at the end of your visualization, say for the highest good.
Yes. This is what I changed. This is what I started doing the months before I met my husband. And I said, I released the obsession for this specific thing that I wanted for years and years. And I just see it's not good. It was about to happen after years but I was like, no. It started scaring me. And I said, for the highest good now, for the highest good.
Yeah, I said for the highest good, and happiness. And it's something better, or this or something better. Because it releases that. Exactly. It's like a little caveat. It opens it up just in case. So no one get worried, but it's great work. And I wanted to do it in February because, Valentine's Day, but also a lot of people just doing readings and doing the forecast is emotionally heavy. A lot of people grieved or released last year and coming into this year, and really opening that up. I think a lot of people are ready to step up energetically. We're evolving and clearing, and people can feel the shift. If you don't feel it, I'm very surprised. But opening up, just opening up to love, or just to opportunity. And that can even be love with yourselves. Guys, too, if you just want to have a stronger relationship with yourself, this webinar will still work. It's love, unconditional.
Self-love, yeah.
Yeah, for, because really you can't give from an empty cup. So some people are trying to get someone to fill themselves. And we're gonna talk about that as well in the webinar to make sure we're in a good alignment with what we're bringing in. Because if you don't, there's a tough love learning curve to that. Like you want some people like, well, I want my husband. If they still have a lot of work to do, the universe will throw in a couple karmic relationships before you meet them to trigger those healings. And someone's like, what the hell? I was asking for my husband. I'm like, you want someone who vibrates this high, but you vibrate this low. And in order to learn your lessons, we have to bring you up. And so the universe, you think it's, taking its sweet time, but it's you learn this stuff so we can be in line with what you want. And that happens too.
Absolutely. And it's amazing how with astrology I've noticed that always the really good relationships, or we call like soulmate relationships, isn't it? Like on this deep connection, they come later in life. Usually both are married or they've been divorced or something, because before that were all those other karmic painful, like, oh, they married because they were the right match, but they were not in love, or they married because of the great sexual chemistry, but they strangle each other, they cheat on. And first of those relationships, because they're supposed to bring you up to that other level.
Yeah.
And for self-acceptance, to stop looking in the fault in the other, to do your own work. And then the partner manifests, and then those, good relationships come. So those of you who are in a hurry.
Yeah, no, it's true. And, and I don't blame them. That's where the surrender part comes in. You have to have something in place, because the anxiety itself it's a lack energy. Like I do not have, and therefore you manifest more weight. So it's actually very counterproductive. You think it's going to help you, but it literally hinders you in a lot of different ways. And I get it. That's why I always talk about tapping too, because the anxiety, that cortisol release, especially if you've been trying to find a partner forever, your body's addicted. You think about it and, anxiety. We need to balance that out.
Yeah, because every time I had just a client who wrote to me and said, I really want to be in a relationship, but I'm so afraid I'm going to get hurt. So I'm afraid even to put my profile on the internet, or when someone talks to me, I immediately, this says like a physical pain comes in my body and something grabs her by the throat. Imagine if you've been so conditioned to expect pain. If you've been betrayed a few times, that every time someone would try to, her whole body would clench. And of course, energetically, her aura will keep her away from relationships, because it is this fear associated with it. So
if it's already visceral, if it's already a physical manifestation, if anybody out there, I'd highly suggest you get some kind of energy work. Nothing to scare you, it's just to help, because the energy that's been there a very long time, your physical body mirrors your energetic. So when it's already physical, it's because it's been there quite some time. And it's just nice to have a little bit of help to release, to open you up. Just like we all need help. Healers need healers, just to release that, because it'll help you move forward. That'll hinder you every time because it's already a fight or flight response, so just, a suggestion.
Wonderful. And one last question. If someone is already in a relationship and it's not like traumatic and, but they want to improve the relationship somehow, will this help them to allow more space for romantic side, for improvement, for better communication?
Yes, it will. And yeah, you can. It's all in the intention. So, but I always like to tell people, so if you're in a relationship and maybe you just hit a bump, or you're like, we're not talking or not sharing like we used to, of course, like I always tell people, that comes with self-work too. You can't control them. You can only control you. But yes, we can do work to open up these things. But I do tell people, when it opens up, whatever in yourself that's also blocking this, it will come up as well. So just understand that. So you maybe you light this candle, and maybe there's been an elephant in the room, something happened, that it'll push the conversation up. It will bring things to fruition. But it's for the good, because ultimately it had to happen, or it'll be like a slow death. So just FYI, and it can open. You cannot, and I would not ever suggest you put anything on anybody else's free will, but you can have intentions to be in alignment, to open up, to connect. And we have cords with people. So those are willing cords. We have them lots, and we can do work too. And I'll ask people that are in the webinar, if this is something, I'll add cord work to our webinar to help increase opening the heart space to receive each other. But other than that, yes, it is. It's for a lot of different things, and I will tailor it. That's why I wanted it interactive. I'll give a ton of scenarios, and everyone has questions. We're going to work on everything together. You're not going to be on the other side.
But people can use it after that as well.
Oh yes, but of course, this is with the new moon. So if you guys do use this afterwards, some of the stuff you can do not on the new moon, but some of the things I'm going to be teaching you, it has to be compatible with the new moon. So you can use it later. Just wait for the next one. But some of the tools, the growing moon, when the moon is growing, when it's waxing, yes. Some things you can do at the time, but the exercises, those have to be in conjunction with the growing moon. Yes.
Oh,
yeah. I'm excited. So if anyone has questions too, they're welcome to email me. I'm happy to answer. I've had a couple people to ask me questions of, is this right? And I'll be completely honest. I will tell you absolutely if this is something that would suit you, or maybe hold off.
And the next one, I want us to do it on a female new moon, maybe new moon in Taurus or something.
Oh, nice.
I want you to do something to develop it. Probably you already have such a system, but about increasing your feminine power, increasing your feminine, like you're doing this already.
Yeah, I do.
So I want one specifically focused on enhancing your feminine, receiving gentle, loving energy, filling up yourself with feminine power, which makes you sexually magnetic to men, and which makes you, we Western women are overworked, over ambitious, over masculinized. I want to do something consciously, because we're go-getters anyway. Let's be go-getters on our feminine side.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of times, the only time women, it's hard for them. The only time they actually like to be dominated or like to be like passive, sometimes it's only in the bedroom. And while sexual energy is great, this kind of energy is a little bit more about intimacy and vulnerability and receptivity and going with the flow, non-controlling. It's non-controlling. So yeah, I would love to do a webinar on that. That'd be great. And I know most of us, myself included, I have a very masculine energy. Way before, very kind of angry with the masculine energy.
Oh, well, you have the Aries moon.
I can use.
You have the Aries moon, don't you?
Yes, I do, and Scorpio sun and Leo rising. So it's a lot of just. So I'm with
Aries, a lot of Mars and Sun energy. Those are both masculine planets.
Yes,
I'm all masculine.
Me too. And that's how I even got on this journey. That's why I've learned so much through trial and error and practice and integrating. So I'm just like an encyclopedia of it. So now everything I teach, I've done. So
we'll develop some program,
yeah, I would love to. We can all use help with this, and it'll honestly heal a lot of things, and even existing relationships. It can help heal a lot of existing relationships as well. So
wonderful. And I saw a renaissance in Eastern Europe, like Russia and Bulgaria, where women are still more into their feminine element. But they're starting to feel the westernization, and all women now are working high-flying jobs and stuff, and they started going to courses. There's like a huge revival of all women going to courses of femininity, which doesn't mean how to be, how to,
Yeah,
hold
housewife
your
or something
hands
like
and
that.
stuff.
That's not it. Yeah.
It's about psychology. It's about occult. It's about increasing and filling up your female chakras, which is the sacral chakra and the heart chakra, the two female chakras, and how to and they start, they have classes there how to attract a millionaire. They call it like
Yay.
the big classes, but it's you can fill yourself up with a lot of feminine power. Even if you're high flying and very successful woman, but you fill yourself with feminine power consciously, you're going to attract a very go-getting masculine guy, because very strong masculine guys, if you've noticed, those millionaires, those yacht players, those successful businessmen, they have a strong masculine energy, and they're only attracted to feminine energy. So they go with those young girls that haven't even started a career yet, that are models, that are over feminine, they need
they haven't had life experiences or bitterness or anything set in,
and they don't have to develop yet their masculine energy to go and succeed in life. But we as mature women, we can learn to consciously, because I don't want you to leave your careers. This is we have to balance the female and masculine, but we should nurture naturally the female energy, those chakras, and fill them up. And Angelique is going to teach us how to do this. So we all need girls.
A lot of people are mistaken. You're correct. I tell women, feminine energy is not weak. Anyone who's ever seen a birthing will know feminine energy is not weak. I tell people, if you think too much about domesticity, that has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that at all. You could think of the feminine as the wild feminine, or the high priestess, or look at even if you look at goddesses, look at Kali, look at all of them. Those are powerful energies. And so we really have to reassociate our ideas about the feminine, because we're resisting what we are. And two, guys, when you're feminine, if you are a boss, if you are in that field, your creativity will shoot through the roof, because it's not just about your feelings and tapping into your own muse. You're receiving, when you're in your feminine energy, you're very intuitive, very psychic, and you download, you get this expansion of energy. So if anything, it'll help your work. It will help your business. It's wonderful.
And the sexual energy increases. My God.
Oh, yes.
I've done exercises to filling up the chakra, the female chakra. I was walking after that and swaying my hips and contracting my muscles, and I'm like, I want to have sex with my husband now.
Exactly. And I tell women too, that's one of the exercises I tell people, like, if you're trying to activate that chakra, belly dancing, swing the hips, or dancing in general, or even tell women like burlesque, getting into the movement of your body, activate the chakra. It's great. It's really great.
Hello. It's
in. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Uh-oh. No, I haven't
Angelique,
moved. I'm here.
You're cutting out.
Oh, no.
Hi, Angelique.
I'm here.
No, it's cutting out. We invoke too much. We invoke too much feminine power. It's getting too hot and steamy.
We're breaking up the connection.
But we have a lot of good things that we'll do with you guys, and develop even programs like that, because I think the Western world in particular needs it so much. We as Western women need it. I've even noticed Western women, they stop caring and putting makeup and making themselves pretty. It doesn't mean that female power isn't making herself pretty either. It's not that, but you'd see like some women look like men. Even their hairstyles would be like men, which again, if you consciously want that, if you really consciously want to look like men, it's okay. But usually it happens because you lose touch with your femininity and your feminine power. And the feminine power naturally wants to beautify everything around it. Feminine energy rules the earth and water, which are the manifestation, the material things. So it wants to beautify, to make beautiful, to make the home beautiful, there's a few levels of feminine energy. And even in the Russian school, they say the feminine energy is in 4 levels. And one is the lover, very passionate, almost like this dark temptress. One is the queen. She's very dignified. She wants to be respected. She wants to be for a guy to bow down to her. And she's usually the one that this feminine energy that creates amazing things like career. And then the other one is the little girl. that wants a guy to take care of her, that wants as well, that makes compliments, that is in awe, that admires. And this is also feminine energy, is receptive to gifts and to, you know, and there is the fourth principle, which is the housewife. So it's to make things beautiful around, to beautify things, to make comfortable, you know, relaxing, pleasant atmosphere. And we have to develop a little bit of each of those feminine archetypes, which correspond to the four elements, actually. So even the masculine elements, like the queen, which is air, and the lover, which is fire, they have a feminine side to them. But anyway, we'll talk about that another
time.
Love
it. I'm excited for this. I think it's something that's really, really needed. There's a lot of misconceptions, and to clear that up would be fantastic, and to utilize it even better.
Well, thank you so much, Angelique. Looking forward to that seminar, that live. If you can be present live on Saturday, guys, you can watch it after that, but there'll be a lot of useful information if you want to claim your feminine power back, and if you want to clear up the past and make space and attract the right relationship for you. This is the time. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Thank you so much, Lotta. I appreciate it for taking the time.
Bye.
Bye.